Years ago, we were all regurgitating over white people. It's almost like they go on script and say the same thing. I can't be racist. I have black friends. Yeah, they all got invisible black friends that nobody's ever seen them with. Yeah, yeah, those kind of black friends. Don Trump Jr., my dad can't be racist because he used to hang out with all the rappers. Oh boy, let's move on. In an interview with conservative news site Daily Caller, Donald Trump Jr. put a new spin on the myopic I have black friends. I don't know, white people. Do you think you're impressing black people with that? You're not. I would lose that line if I were you. Defense when disputing accusation of racism while being tossed softball questions by Jenny Thomas. That's Clarence Thomas's wife, by the way. The junior Trump went to bat for his father. Admit claims that one of the chief proponents of birtherism is indeed racist. According to Don Jr., his father, who was sued by the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division in the 70s for allegedly discriminating against black tenants, can't be racist because he hung out with all the rappers prior to running for president. Wow. The real problem is those things exist. Certainly, racism exists. But if it's your response to any argument, you can't win. You actually do a real disservice to those people who actually afflicted by it, Don Jr. told Thomas, by those people who are actually oppressed and hurt by real racism and real sexism. I don't know why they keep throwing in sexism with racism. There's really two very different things. The statement raises the question as to what Don Jr. considers real racism. The Central Park Five, a group of Black and Latino youths wrongly convicted of an assault and rape, which they did not commit. And by the way, the DNA did not match what was found on the victim. So they were vindicated. Were certainly affected by real racism when Don Jr.'s dad spent $85,000 on a full page newspaper ad calling for their execution. And this was after the DNA evidence came out and it didn't match any of the five. So, he didn't want to hear it. Real racism arguably play a role into why Trump refuses to apologize even after their conviction and vacated the DNA evidence, exonerated them. Real racism certainly plays a role in why his dad accused unauthorized Mexican immigrants of being rapists. This coming from Mr. Grab 'em by the pussy, while announcing his candidacy, and why he picks fights with NFL players who take a knee during the anthem. Don Jr. laments all the photo ops his dad enjoyed with prominent Black celebrities before he entered the political arena. Taking a picture with somebody does not erase racism. And having Black friends, that doesn't exonerate you from being a racist either. There are plenty of racists that talk to Black people. So, no, that does not work. It's been terrible to watch, but I know him. I've seen him my whole life. I've seen the things he's done. It's amazing. All the rappers and all the this and his African American friends, from Jesse Jackson to Al Sharpton. You notice he brought up the two that white people bring up the most. You know, if you remember, and I know all of us have experienced this, whenever white people went on these rants, they would always bring up Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. And let me tell you something, people in the black community don't even talk about those two like white people did. We don't even barely talk about those two. But white people always got on the roll. Your leaders, Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, those are not our leaders, white people. Those are not our leaders. There is no one following either one of them men in the black community. I have pictures with them, Don Jr. said. It was only when he got into politics that's all of a sudden he's the most terrible human being ever. Well, you said it, son. Well, yeah, it's easy to see why Balterus real estate mogul, cartoonish realty star might be a fun person to pose for party photos with. It's decidedly less fun when the boorish apprentice host uh, actually attains a position of power and can greenlight legislation that actually affects other people. But your father is not passing hardly any legislation, in fact, none. That's why they call him Lazy Boy. That's being said, critical thinking doesn't seem to be Don Jr.'s strength. Even his dad allegedly admit as much as in Michael Wolff's Trump administration tell all fire and fury. So, in other words, he's coming public to say he doesn't see the racism in his dad. His dad is not a racist because his father was out and about and spoke a few words to black rappers. So, that erases all racism from Trump. Boy, we've heard some stupid lines before. So he hung out with rappers. He can't be a racist. And what was the other one we heard? Oh, he can't be racist. He had a TV show. Woo, y'all get nuttier by the minute. Yes, you can have a black friend and still be a racist. And yes, you can take pictures with celebrities and still be a racist. Woo, these people are desperate. Please tell me what you think of this article that came out in Spin Magazine. And I will leave the link to this article in the description box. Please hang out with rappers.